Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about how perfect Austin is and why you should totally move here and how it's not that expensive if you're rich. Just kidding. In this video, we are actually going to talk about some of the top neighborhoods in Austin, Texas near downtown, some of the more popular and in-demand areas, how much they're going for, what they have to offer, the good, the bad, etc. So that by the end of this video, you can arrive at your own conclusion as to whether or not any one of these neighborhoods might be the place for you. Stay tuned. Hey again everybody, this is Frank with the Living in Austin group at eXp Realty. On this channel we put out new content about living in Austin, Texas, the good and the bad, so consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already and ringing that little bell to get notified anytime we put out a new video. We also love the reach outs we get now all the time from people just like you in need of our help when relocating to the greater Austin area. So keep them coming, do not hesitate. Whether you are 9 days away or 90, reach out to our team, whether you shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call any day of the week, any time of day. So yes, in this video, we are going to talk about some of the top neighborhoods in Austin, Texas near downtown. Truth be told, a lot of our clientele and a lot of people in general who relocate to the greater Austin area do not actually relocate to Austin, Texas, most often because of the lack of affordability. And so they have their eyes set on places like Buda, Texas, or Kyle, Texas, Leander, Texas, Georgetown, Round Rock, so on and so forth. But what about the people who do not want to live on the outskirts of Austin, who have no need to live in the suburbs of Austin and actually want to be in Austin where all of the magic is happening? That is the point of this video. We're going to talk about some of the more in-demand areas near downtown, what you can expect, how much they go for, so on and so forth. So let's get to it. All right, let's start with the neighborhood of East Austin. What's interesting about East Austin is that for a number of years, it really wasn't that desirable. However, in recent years, it has seen a surge in popularity and is now considered an up-and-coming neighborhood. It is home to the city's most interesting bars, restaurants, music venues, etc. A great spot for young professionals and creatives. Now, in addition to that, what's also appealing about East Austin is that in addition to its own very fair share of things to do, you are approximately going to be 10 minutes away from the heart of downtown Austin. And that 10-minute drive is with traffic, by the way. And then to add to that, what makes it even more appealing, in addition to all of that information, is that it has a median home price of right around $600,000. Hence, why people look at other places outside of the city limits that go from the 350s to the 450s to maybe $500,000. But the median home price in Austin proper is going to be right around $600,000, if not more. And so this is actually right on par for that average. So ultimately, am I saying it's cheap? Absolutely not. However, considering everything you get for living that close to downtown Austin and for living in a place that has so much to offer, $600,000 for all of that is not so easy to dismiss. Up next, let's talk about Hyde Park. To start off, what makes Hyde Park an attractive neighborhood to begin with? Well, in the case of Hyde Park, it would be location, 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 location. Reason being, most of the places, pretty much all of the other places in this video on my list to talk about are going to be on average between 10 and 20 minutes from the heart of downtown Austin where everything happens, which already on its own is attractive. Well, regarding Hyde Park specifically, there is no proximity essentially to report. You can't really find distance from Hyde Park to downtown whatsoever because Hyde Park is literally downtown in the heart of everything. So naturally, as a result of that, you have a very vibrant culture. You've got restaurants galore. You've got cafes aplenty, albeit I might say pretentious. You've got an abundance of shopping as well. All of that happening, as mentioned, basically in downtown Austin. Now, the catch to that, however, would be the median home price, which on average ranges between about $680,000 to about $725,000 on average. So let's just find the middle spot and call it a median home price of right around $700,000. A good 100 grand more than the average price of living in downtown Austin or Austin proper. But similar to East Austin, Hyde Park is offering pretty much everything for that price tag. And if it's within your budget, you might not have to look anywhere else. All right, moving right along, let's talk about the neighborhood of South Congress, also known as SoCo. Now, whether you live in SoCo, whether you live in San Marcos, Texas, whether you live in Georgetown, Texas, which is a whopping 40 to 50 minute drive north of downtown Austin, chances are those people have been to the neighborhood of South Congress. Reason being, it is one of Austin, Texas's most iconic neighborhoods. It has funky shops, it has eclectic restaurants, it has a very vibrant nightlife pretty much in walking distance. You've got street art, you've got skyline views. And depending on where exactly you are in South Congress and where exactly you're trying to get in the heart of downtown Austin, that distance, that proximity on average with traffic is going to be roughly between 10 and 20 minutes. Now, obviously, as these places have more and more and more to offer you, the median home price is going to adjust accordingly. And so with that said, the median home price in South Congress actually ranges quite a bit. In some cases, you find a median home price that's right around $600,000, which for what you're getting by many would be considered dirt cheap. However, the caveat to that is if you get a place for 600 grand in South Congress, chances are, if I had to guess, it would probably be a one bed, one bath, studio size or one bedroom apartment size place to live. And then of course, if you're wanting a more decently sized home, that's when South Congress is going to get much more expensive, and it's easily going to get into the range of $900,000 or even $1 million. So with that said, the median home price in South Congress as a whole could basically technically be said to be around $800,000 if you're weighing the low end of things with the high. And naturally, with everything I just described, the vibe of South Congress combined with the price of South Congress, chances are a lot of the people who live there are going to be younger professionals who come here and work with those tech jobs. Now, real quickly before moving on, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If we've been providing any value for you, consider clicking the like button as well, as it helps our channel grow. Remember to subscribe, and lastly, share our content with anybody you know who's wanting to learn more about living in Austin, Texas. All right, let's move on and talk about the neighborhood of Mueller. Now, what's interesting about Mueller is that it was created from the redevelopment of the former Robert Mueller Airport. And because of this, in my opinion, it has a very unique feel to it. I wouldn't quite describe it as a suburban feel, nor would I quite describe it as, say, a high-end shopping center feel. So if you perhaps were to combine the two of those and they had a baby, that's how I would describe the aesthetic and the vibe of Mueller. So with that in mind, and because of that, Mueller is going to have a mix of retail space, office space, and housing with plenty of green in between. It is a very pretty place to live. And of course, with all that said, the price tag is going to reflect it. So on average, the median home price in Mueller is going to range between about $800,000 and $900,000. So let's just find the middle point and call it $850,000. In addition to all of that, what makes Mueller attractive as well is that typically for a certain vibe or aesthetic like this one, you would have to go to, say, Cedar Park, Texas, or maybe Leander, Texas, places like that that are essentially out of the Austin, Texas city limits that are going to be technically dubbed as suburbia. Well, in the case of Mueller, it's only going to be on average between 15 and 20 minutes with traffic factored in from the heart of downtown Austin, of course, where everything is happening. And Mueller oftentimes is, yes, a place for young professionals, but also a place for young professionals who are wanting to start families. Yes, you've got your fair share of things to do in Mueller as described, but it is going to differ from a place like Hyde Park, from a place like South Congress, or from a place like East Austin that are either going to be more artistic, that are either going to have more nightlife, places like museums, art exhibits, so on and so forth, eclectic shops, cafes, etc., which naturally will make it undesirable to some and very desirable to others. Up next on this list, last but certainly not least, we have the neighborhood of the Westlake Hills. And if you know of the Westlake Hills, feel free to roll your eyes at me, but truth be told, a lot of people who reach out to us and watch our content are in position to move to a place like the Westlake Hills. Reason being, the Westlake Hills are located, of course, in West Austin, which is a very hilly area, which is a very gorgeous area, and that is home to some of the most prestigious homes in all of the greater Austin area. In the Westlake Hills, you are going to see high-end restaurants, high-end shopping centers, golf courses galore, and a perfect spot for that luxurious lifestyle. And of course, with all of that in mind, consistent with all of the other places on this list, it is only going to be on average about 15 minutes away from the heart of downtown Austin. And of course, naturally, what are you paying to get all of that good stuff in the Westlake Hills? Well, the median home price in the Westlake Hills is going to range between about $2.5 million and $3 million. So if we find that middle spot once again, it's going to look like on average a median home price of $2.75 million. So of course, depending on who you are and which walk of life you're coming from, you might look at a place like the Westlake Hills and say, no way, Jose, hell no, I'd rather live in East Austin. Or you might look at the Westlake Hills and that price tag and say, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Either way, there you have it. A brief overview of some of the top neighborhoods in Austin, Texas near downtown, as well as some of the more popular and in-demand areas in Austin as well. Maybe you were watching this and one by one as I went through the places, you said no, 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 most certainly not, and hell no. Perhaps having your eyes on places instead like Leander, Texas, or Round Rock, Texas, Hutto, Texas, so on and so forth. Or perhaps you are relocating to the greater Austin area with a budget to play with, and one of these places makes sense for you. Either way, yay or nay, that is what we are here for, helping people just like you relocate to the greater Austin area, finding that perfect spot and making that move as smooth as possible. But again, the only way we can do that is by you reaching out to us. So do not hesitate, whether you're 9 days away or 90. Once again, reach out to our team, whether you shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call any day of the week. Any time of day, it is what we love to do. And of course, as mentioned on this channel, we put out new content about living in Austin, Texas, the good and the bad. So consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already and clicking the bell to get notified anytime we put out a new video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Click the like button if we've been providing any value for you. Share with anybody you know. And until the next one, you guys, my name is Frank. This is Living in Austin, Texas, and we will absolutely catch you later.